So at Microsoft, our mission is to empower every person and organization on the planet to achieve more, and we say that with AI. Now, we're not trying to be the big travel platform ourselves. We have CRM Dynamics, we have LinkedIn, as you may know. We partner with Adobe's Marketing Cloud. We partner with disruptive leading players in the space in travel that are on our cloud, and we help them change the industry. So I'm going to give you one deep example of that, and then I'm going to give you a broad view of AI across the industry. So nothing sounds really sexy at 9 a.m. this morning about disruptive golden customer record. You might say, who cares? You know, stitching data and unifying data records. You know, what is AI, doing in this space for travel companies? Well, when you look at the results, this company, Amperity, this is one of the most disruptive players we've seen across the industry. They took a major travel player from identifying 60% of their customers to 90% plus. They drove 15 million plus in projected revenue of ancillary products, they're projected to. Look at the reductions, 27% reduction in cost of acquisition on Facebook and 91% higher conversion. Look at the increase in revenue per email, and in their premium customers, 550% almost. Huge reduction in time spent by the email marketing team. These are companies that are exceptional at deduping and yet still getting 8 to 22% dupes. That's huge direct mail savings. In loyalty, 17 times more connections from a cross-brand loyalty database. And by the way, they're doing this in 4 to 12 weeks, what most companies take 8 to 12 months. So when you think about how AI is disrupting even a non-sexy area, well, does this sound a little sexier now? Maybe not at 9 a.m. All right, so let's go broad. So when we talk about AI, it's not just machine learning. There's vision, there's speech, there's language, there's knowledge, there's search. And we're in the middle of a disruptive platform jump. So from PCs in the 80s to internet and search in the 90s to mobile and social in 2000s, the new canvas is conversations with natural language, the way we as human beings always connect, bots and agents. So what does conversation as a platform mean? It means human language is the new user interface. Bots are the new apps. Digital assistants, right? The Cortanas, the Alexas, the Siris, the Googles, these are the meta apps, and intelligence is infused to all. Going in and out of an app, right, that's a point of friction. We're all going to need chiropractors in 20 years. So we've all seen bots. This is a great example. Hi, Julie. Tell me where you'd like to go, and let me help you on your travel. And you can see later on, great, do you also need a hotel or car? Bots are actually upselling. Skyscanner has a complex business, right? This isn't simple stuff. How many of you have been on hold? Either a travel company, phone, mobile company? Raise your hands if you were on hold for more than 5 minutes. Raise them high. It's OK. It's early. Keep them up if you were on hold for more than 10 minutes, more than 15 minutes. Let me ask you, how did you feel? Did you feel like a valued customer? Well, you're not alone. 85% of consumers are placed on hold. 2/3 hang up, and a half feel unhelped. Well, bots are available 24/7, 365, right? There is no queue. There is no wait time. And today, the AI has certain limits, right? Very quickly, it kicks up to human agent, but that's changing quickly. The first Google algorithm sucked. Let's be honest, right? The first Amazon recommendation you got for a product probably wasn't great, but very quickly, that changed. And in reality, what you're going to see over time is this hybrid of increasing use of bots taking over between machine and human, but over time, the machines, the bots, are going to take over. So this is going to raise customer expectations. I led 9 industry groups at J.D. Power and Associates, OK? We know that as soon as consumers experience 24/7, 365 ability to get service, they're going to expect it out of your company and every other company, right? So 85% of consumers per Gartner are expected to be, the interactions expect to be managed without people by 2020. Fine, if you want to say it's 2021, 2022, that's fine. 72% of customers expect a tweet within an hour, right? 73% say valuing their time is the most important element of good service. Okay, now let's turn to voice. A lot of people have seen kind of the devices coming out. How prevalent is this? This is Accenture and Business Insider recent data. Look at the 14 to 17-year-olds. More than 50% are now using voice services, and another 33%, that's 85 in total, have an interest. And the proportions are very similar for older generations, even if it's smaller today. So you've seen all of these speakers proliferate, not just here in the States, but globally, in China, everywhere. It's not about the device. It is about the digital assistant. That is the strategic point of control. Because what's happening is these devices that kind of are out there in the periphery today are going to become, you can clap for the personalization, more personalized, more specific to you over time. Why should you, if you check into an airline or a hotel, have to enter the same darn information 20 times, right? Shouldn't you just have it ask you, hey, your flight's coming up. Would you like me to check you in? Yes. Would you like me to authorize payment? Yes. And your bot's going to talk to the hotel or the airline bot. Okay? That is happening. That is in process. That is where we are headed. So companies today are taking baby steps. So you see Avis, okay, book me a rental car with Google, Alexa with United, Kayak, and a lot of other players are starting to do this. It's not perfect yet. But this is where Godzilla comes in. Not just destroying Tokyo. So think about this for a second. You're going to London. Hey, give me the 5 closest hotels to this location in this price range, and bring me these 2 other brands I really love, regardless of price. So you're getting 7 of these back. Think about this. Who owns that search? Is that the digital assistant? Is that the operating system of your phone? Is it Kayak or Meta's? Right? If AI can search everything and subsets your personal preferences, where are the OTAs in that? Where is Google? What happens to the revenue models for them? What about brand.com? How are you going to be discovered in those searches? So as digital assistants come on, that's why you see all these companies racing, including Samsung with Bixby, to get into the game. Switching gears, language, translation. So this is Microsoft, 10 people speaking 10 different languages, right, in real time. Google just came out with a great product. A lot of you have probably seen with translation as well. Your grandchildren are not going to have to learn a second language because they're going to speak all of them in their own language. So think about how this changes travel and hospitality. Imagine you're in a country, whether it's Greece, where you don't speak the language, or like this in Singapore happens to be English, where you're able to get 3-dimensional sound. We developed this at Microsoft for the visually impaired and blind. This exists today. So instead of looking down at a phone, to actually have guides audibly to tell you where it is that you're looking for. This is going to solve the greatest, one of the greatest points of marital strife since the dawn of time, right? Because you can say with confidence, honey, I know exactly where I am, and I am not lost. Okay? So facial recognition. Everybody's seen the new iPhone came out. The innovation is not the facial recognition. Uber's been using Microsoft's facial recognition to verify drivers for safety. Otherwise, the system shuts down for several years. My computer logs me in with facial recognition. This is an example with a vending machine at an event. Hampton Inn used it to recognize attendees and dispense bling. You have JetBlue with Aruba to the Boston route and TSA. You have Delta with bag checks. In China, which is leading the world in facial recognition, at KFC you can pay simply by looking at an interface through facial recognition. No swipe, no nothing, right? What is different, what Apple is going to do over the next 2-3 years is bring it from the experimental and the periphery to the mainstream, where mainstream consumers are going to consider it normal, the same way social media made sharing maybe a little bit too normal, right? That's going to happen in the coming years. To me, this is the future of customer service. So this is an example with Air New Zealand using Microsoft HoloLens. Augmented virtual reality are kind of their own presentations, right? So the ability to look at a customer who wants to opt in, to have the customer details in the upper left, to have their preferences, to have cognitive capabilities that exist today to understand, is this person calm? Are they anxious? To have details around the service in the upper right. So whether it's a hotel, an airline, a car, the ability to personalize with CRM and provide better service. And this is from some of Dell's colleagues at McKinsey. So where is AI in travel? It really is everywhere, right? And this is just a partial list. So I'm going to stop there so we have time for others. Feel free to come up to me after, link in with me. I'm happy to share more perspective in depth. Thank you for enduring my speed round.
Thank you.